Good morning. I am Nancy Hunter, and I am a new member of the Board of Trustees of this Unitarian Universalist Society. I use she and her pronouns. Welcome to you, old friends and new, young and old, in the Zoom and in the sanctuary. You are an essential part of our celebration today. Whether this is your first or your 1000th Sunday in our midst, we are stronger because you are with us. We are one people of many beliefs, many origins, sexualities, and genders. We are all growing, all learning, all loved. Just as you are welcome here. As part of our effort to seek feedback on the governance of our congregation, you are invited to the first 15 minutes of any regular board meeting, or chatting with us during social hour, or by using the email address board@uusocietyamherst.org. We are grateful to be in community with you.
I'm the Reverend Rachael Hayes, minister of this congregation. I use she, her pronouns. Come into this sacred place. Come in holding your hopes, your fears, your love, all of what makes you you, and all of what makes you human. Come set down your burdens for a spell. Come join your voice in song. Come as you are. Together we will find a way. Come, let us worship.
My name is Andrew Coate. I use he, him pronouns, and I serve as the Director of Religious Education. Please join me in the words of lighting our chalice. They're in your order of worship and on the screen. We light this flame to invite a world of peace, where we heal the wounds, where we share what we have with one another, where justice is another word for relationship, and we listen for what love has to say. I invite you to rise in body and spirit to sing our opening hymn, There is a Love. The words are on the screen.
There is a love holding me. There is a love holding all that I love. There is a love holding all. I rest in this love. There is a love holding me. There is a love holding me. There is a love holding all that I know. There is a love holding all that I know. There is a love holding us. There is a love holding us. There is a love holding all that we lost. There is a love holding all that we lost. We rest in this holding all. We rest in this holding all. We rest in this love.
During our time for all ages, we're going to talk about how to settle our bodies. And I'd like to invite any kids who would like to join me to come up front to be closer. Awesome. As we practice these things together. But I have noticed that all of us have bodies. And all of us sometimes need to settle our bodies. So whether you are up front with me or sitting in a chair in the sanctuary, or joining us on Zoom or YouTube, you are invited to practice along. And it's okay if not every settling practice we do today is the one that you need. Everything we do here is by invitation. So please take the ones that help you, and when something doesn't work for you, remember that it's probably just what another person needs today. So because we all have bodies, sometimes we feel nervous or anxious in our bodies, and it's good to have practices to help us settle. And it's good for kids and adults. So let's try a few. So I'll get here so you can see my belly, because the first thing we're going to do is a belly breath. And so you breathe so that pushes out your belly, and breathe and let go of the breath, and your belly goes back down. Can we do that a few times? Okay, that feels pretty good. Another thing that we can do is we can rub our bellies. Did you know that this was settling? Because I do this all the time. Yeah? Welcome. We are rubbing our bellies to settle our bodies, and you have everything you need to do this. Ooh, did you notice that I'm humming? So, another thing that we can do is we can hum. Any note you want, just give it a try. You can keep rubbing your belly while you do it if you want. Ooh, you all sound good. This feels good. You can even hum a song that you know. And the song that I'm thinking of is There Is a Love, because we just sang it. This is not a pop quiz. Every note is good. But I wonder if we could... There's one more that we've practiced together that I really like, and it's called a butterfly hug. Do you remember this one, Adar? So you cross your thumbs like this, like a butterfly. I'm going to have to do it not the right way because my microphone's in the way. But then you tap. So really goes like this. But I love you more than to make that sound a lot. So you can also go like this, tapping one side, and then the other. You can even tap your lap. Sometimes you just want to tap lightly, and sometimes you really want to get in there. And however you do it is the right way for you. Okay, so I want to ask our panel of experts up here, because you've all had bodies for several years now. Do you have any other things that you do that help settle your body? Can you think of something? Yeah? Going on the bed and resting for a little bit is a great thing to do. Any other So
3 weeks ago, we made a whole list in religious education of ways that we can use to calm our bodies.
that was 3 weeks ago, Andrew. Lauren has one. Oh, I like that. I'm holding my head with you, Lauren. Yeah. Oh, Sarah has one. Yeah.
Closing my eyes.
Closing the eyes. Okay, let's try that. Just resting the eyes. Okay, I have a few more that might be a thing that is helpful to you. Has anyone heard of hugs? You know, sometimes it helps to ask somebody you love for a hug. Yeah. We've already done another one, singing. Singing is a good one. You can rock in a rocking chair or just moving back and forth or side to side. Sometimes you do that while singing. You can take a walk. You can pet an animal. I do that one a lot. Yeah, you've met my dog Yuli, right? Yeah. Yeah. You can go to the woods, see what you notice in the woods.
It's basically taking a walk.
It is taking a walk. Or you can go to the woods and be still in the woods, which is fun too. Okay. Any other thoughts you want to bring into this space before we hear what's happening downstairs today? All right. Thank you for joining me. When despair for the world grows in me, and I wake in the night at the least sound, in fear of what my life and my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the wood drake rests in his beauty on the water and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me the day-blind stars waiting with their light. For a time I rest in the grace of the world and am free. I am not asking you to tell on yourself, but raise your hand if you've met anyone at all recently, who seemed to be holding a greater than usual amount of stress, anxiety, worry, despair. Yeah, me too. Some of it might be the election. A lot of people are reporting election-related stress. I'm not sure if it makes it easier or harder to remember that 4 years ago, we didn't have the election settled until the following Saturday. It's very possible that we won't know the outcome of the presidential race right away. So what are we going to do? For the most part, we've done all we can to influence the election itself. The money donated, thousands of postcards mailed. There are still a few days left to do some door knocking, phone banking, or text banking, whether for candidates or for issues. But the work of the election is mostly over. It's time to look for that wood drake and heron that are in the Wendell-Berry poem I just read to you. Probably not literally looking for those exact birds, but I know that getting myself into nature is the best cure I have for taxing my life with forethought of grief. For me, I do enjoy watching the birds, but there's something really wonderful about getting my body under some trees and feeling how much bigger they are than I am. One tree is good, but the woods are better. Whatever comes, my decades as a voter have taught me that every election is a mixed bag of results, and we'll need to live through it in our bodies. A group of people in our congregation are meeting weekly to explore the practices in Resmaa Menakem's book, My Grandmother's Hands, Racialized Trauma and the Pathway to Mending Our Hearts and Bodies. Menakem offers a method, a process, that he calls 5 anchors for meeting and moving through trauma. These can be useful in interpersonal conflict, but I also like them for when I get that unsettled feeling in my body. Anchor 1, settle yourself to quiet your mind, calm your heart, and settle your body. Any of those settling techniques we talked about with the kids are a great way to do this if you can. But if you're about to have a fight with your coworker, maybe it's not the best time to start humming or butterfly tapping. You'll still need to breathe. So begin by bringing some attention to your breath. Sit down. Set anything that you are holding down. Do whatever you need to do to take care of your body. Have a sip of water Take off your sweater if you're feeling hot, or just go to the bathroom to get a few minutes alone. Remind yourself that you've got this. You don't have to react impulsively. Anchor 2. Simply notice the sensations, vibrations, and emotions in your body instead of reacting to them. What does it feel like to be in your body right now? How do your clothes feel against your skin? What does your breath feel like as it moves in and out of you? What is the temperature of the air? Inside your body, where do you feel tight? Where do you feel heavy? Where do you feel hot or buzzy or tingly? Do you have pain? Is there a part of your body that feels ease? What emotions do you feel inside your body? What do they feel like? Don't do anything about them. Just for a second, notice them. Anchor 3. Accept the discomfort and notice when it changes instead of trying to flee from it. This can be hard because we've been trained for comfort. Given the option, most of us would rather be comfortable than uncomfortable. Our bodies are wired to keep us safe, and discomfort might make us nervous that we're about to be in danger. If you're trying to tell whether you're facing discomfort or danger, look around. Is there a physical threat? Usually not, but if there is, get out of there. Check your body again. Is there something dangerous happening inside your body? If you're physically unwell, get medical attention. We're not accepting actual danger here. Always take care of yourself. But when there's discomfort in you, maybe you feel sad or angry or ashamed or nervous, see if you can stay with that feeling. Maybe even accept that it's trying to protect you from something, that whatever is happening now is reminding part of you of a thing that happened before. Accept this discomfort as a protective part of yourself, and give yourself permission to be curious about it. As you observe it, it will change. Don't hold tight to it, let it move through you. Anchor 4. Stay present and in your body as you move through the unfolding experience with all its ambiguity and uncertainty, and respond from the best parts of yourself. This is where you actually deal with whatever set off the unsettledness. Stay present as you have the hard conversation, or take in the news, or the lack of news. Don't have an agenda for the moment. Stay present. Respond from your own integrity as it feels relevant in this moment. If you lose track of the present moment, if you lose track of your own highest self, just come back as many times as it takes. But wait, you're not done yet. Anchor 5, safely discharge any energy that remains. In the aftermath of this big, stressful thing, you might still have a lot of energy coursing through your body. You need to let it go. Menachem recommends any form of continuous exercise, including walking, physical labor, whatever your body needs, so long as it disperses energy and doesn't hurt you or someone else. Several months ago, I was on my couch with a friend, and suddenly my dog was on alert. I heard my storm door open, and then the inner door opened. I hopped up, reminded myself that I was safe and in my own house, met the opening door to find my neighbor from 2 doors down trying to bring his groceries and a big bucket of kitty litter into my house. He realized he was in the wrong place, apologized, and went to the correct door. I closed my door, returned to the couch, and collapsed against my friend in laughter and just let it wash over my body. The laughter was the energy dispersing. I told you back in September that I have begun boxing, and this is why. Not to fight off intruders bearing kitty litter, but to have that energetic discharge. I've historically preferred energy gathering sorts of movement like yoga, but I'm realizing that they don't meet all of my needs. I feel better able to take on those middle anchors, noticing, accepting, and staying present when I make those soothing and settling practices and energy discharging practices part of my regular routine. Getting myself under the trees, if not with the wood drake and the heron, to settle myself. Boxing to release the energy. And in the middle, paying closer attention to my body, accepting my feelings as what they are, and rolling with whatever comes. So, what are you going to do this week? What is your plan? I hope you vote if you're eligible, of course, but how are you soothing yourself? Maybe you also get under the trees, or watch nature videos, or pet your cat. Maybe you take a bath and eat some ice cream at the same time. Highly recommended. Maybe you have some favorite movies queued up or books to read. And how are you dispersing the energy that builds as you meet all of these moments one by one? Going for a run or a walk, having a dance party, playing a drum, or even finding some absolutely ridiculous nonsense comedy that makes you laugh beyond all reason. There's a reason people share weird memes. Take care of yourself. It is okay to turn off the TV or radio, to stop refreshing the news website. The news will still be there when you're ready to come back to it. This, too, is an important part of soothing the body. You wouldn't stand in front of an air conditioner when you're cold, or in front of the fire when you're already hot. You don't have to hold yourself in the way of that endless stream of news. Take care of each other. I would like you to make 2 phone calls this week. Usually when I tell you to make phone calls, it's to your elected representatives on behalf of your beloveds. This time I'm asking you to check in with your beloveds in this election week. The first phone call is to someone who comes to you with all of their worries. Don't wait for them to call you, just call them and tell them that you're thinking of them. The second phone call is to the person who holds your worries. And it's the same script, just call them and tell them you're thinking of them. And if they're in this congregation, don't tell them whether they're phone call 1 or 2. If either phone call goes further, that's great. Stay in the present as you talk, as you listen. If you're not sure who those people are for you, just reach out to 2 people you know. This is no time to try to go it alone, and simply reaching out helps us remember that we are social creatures meant for community. Whatever comes, don't skip your regular community events unless your group decides together to join a bigger event. Trust people with how you really are, with the intention of being honest, vulnerable, and kind. This is no week to skip your exercise class, your regular therapy appointment, your art group, your lunch bunch. These communities are essential and part of how you will stay grounded. And we're your community too. Whether the outcome of the election is known or unknown, we'll have a community night here at UUSA on Thursday. Pizza, games, crafts. RSVP by Wednesday to make sure we order enough pizza. It will help for us to be in community together. And if you have a friend who needs some community on Thursday, please bring them. This is not an exclusive event. Whatever comes, we meet it together. We don't wait until we're perfect or the world is perfect to come into community. It's an ongoing process of coming back to community and to our own highest selves, over and over, a practice rather than a product, staying present and grounded and real. We are facing a week of unknowns, but what I do know is that this is a community of care. I know that even when we love imperfectly, we remain committed to love in our practice and as our highest goal. Grounded in love, with love at our center, we will meet the moments as they come.
And when I rise, let me rise like a bird joyfully. And when I fall, let me fall like a leaf gracefully, without regret. And when I stand, let me stand like a tree, strong and tall. And when I lie, let me lie like a lake, peacefully, calm and still. And when I work, let me work like a bee, wholeheartedly. And when I play, let me play like a breeze, fresh and cool, light and clear.
Spirit of life, when we don't know what else to do, we still show up. We bring our hearts to this moment. We reach out to celebrate with those who bring us their joys to share. We reach out in compassion to those whose sorrows travel with them. We reach out to console each other's worried hearts. And in reaching out, we discover that together we have made a network of caring. Remind us that it is deep and meaningful work to belong to the earth, to one another, and to our highest selves. Blessed be. Amen.
Deep inside all, I hear you call.
join me in the words to extinguish our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. There is a love holding us. There is a love holding all. Go in peace, knowing that this love is with you everywhere you go.